for the next 30 minutes, you're going to speak English with me. That's right, not just listen, actually speak. I'll ask you real questions, the kind people use in everyday life, and I'll give you a few seconds to answer each one out loud. No grammar drills, no complicated theory, just real English conversation practice. By the end of this video, you'll be surprised how much more confident you sound. So, grab your drink, relax, and let's talk in English. Don't forget to subscribe so you can keep practicing with me every week. Ready? Let's go. All right, let's start nice and easy. Imagine we just met somewhere, maybe at a coffee shop, maybe in an English class, or even online, and I want to know a little bit about you. So the very first question is, what's your name? That's how almost every conversation begins, right? You can also hear people saying, who are you? But that one sounds a bit too direct unless you already know the person. The natural, friendly way is, what's your name? For example, I'd say, my name is Peter, or in a more relaxed way, I'm Peter. Now it's your turn. Go ahead. Say it out loud. My name is, or I'm. Great job. That's it. Nice and simple. Let's move to the next one. The second question is one you'll probably hear right after that. Where are you from? People use it all the time when they meet someone new. It's a polite and friendly way to show interest. You could also hear, where do you come from? Same meaning, but a bit more formal. Now, how can you answer it? You can say, I'm from Angola, or I come from Brazil, or maybe I'm originally from Spain, but I live in Portugal now. See, you can keep it simple or make it more detailed. And if you want to be more conversational, you can even say something like, oh, I'm from Luanda. Have you ever been there? That's how you keep the conversation going. All right, now your turn. I'll ask again. Where are you from? Excellent. Well done. Let's go to the next one. This next one is also very common, but sometimes tricky for learners. How old are you? You'll hear it often among kids or teenagers, but adults don't usually ask this right away unless it's relevant. So be careful. It's not rude, but in some cultures, it's a bit personal. Still, you should know how to ask and answer it confidently. You could say, I'm 24, or I'm 30 years old. And if you don't want to say your age, you can just smile and say, old enough to know better. Laughs. That's a classic funny way to avoid the question. Okay, now I'm going to ask you, how old are you? Nice, great job. Let's keep going. Next question. What do you do, or what's your job? This one you'll definitely hear in adult conversations, especially when meeting someone new. What do you do is short for what do you do for a living, which basically means what is your work. So, for example, I'd say I'm an English teacher, or I work as an English teacher. You could also say I'm a student, or I work in marketing. If you don't have a job at the moment, you can say, I'm looking for a job right now, or I'm between jobs. That's a nice, natural way to express it. All right, now I'll ask you like we're really chatting. So, what do you do? Excellent. Good answer. Let's move to the next one. Now, the fifth question, where do you live? You'll hear this one all the time right after people know your name and where you're from. It's about your current location, not your origin. For example, I could say, I live in London, or I live near the city center. If you want to be a little more natural, you can say, I'm based in London. That's very common in work or travel contexts. You can also add details to sound more fluent, like, I live in Luanda, in a small apartment close to the beach. Or I live in the countryside. It's quiet and peaceful. All right, your turn. Where do you live? Great job. You're doing amazing so far. That's the first 5 questions done. Let's keep the energy going for the next one.
All right, time for question number 6. What do you like to do in your free time? This one is perfect for small talk. You can hear it anywhere, at work, at school, at a party, or even on a date. It's one of those questions that helps people connect, because everyone likes something, right? There are a few ways to say this. You might also hear, "What are your hobbies?" or "What do you do for fun?" They all mean the same thing, but what do you like to do in your free time is the friendliest and most natural. You can answer in many ways. I like reading, or I love watching movies, or I enjoy cooking. If you want to sound more natural, use really or quite. I really like listening to music, or I quite enjoy hiking. For me, I'd say I like learning languages, going for walks, and sometimes just doing nothing, which is great too. Now, your turn. What do you like to do in your free time? Excellent. Nicely said. Let's keep going. Question 7. What's your favorite color? Sounds like a simple one, right? But it's actually one of the first questions you learn in English, and you'd be surprised how often it comes up, especially in casual chats or when you're describing things like clothes, cars, or even home decoration. You can say, "My favorite color is blue," or more naturally, "I like blue." People often drop the favorite in real conversation. If you want to ask the same question in another way, you could say, "Which color do you like the most?" Or, "Do you have a favorite color?" For me, I'd probably say my favorite color is green. It reminds me of nature, peace, and long walks. All right, now your turn. What's your favorite color? Great job! Very good. Let's move to the next one. Number 8. What kind of music do you like? Now, this one always starts interesting conversations. Music connects people everywhere, and it's one of the easiest ways to keep a chat going. You can also hear, "What type of music do you like?" Or, "Who's your favorite singer?" Or, "Do you like pop music?" To answer, you can say, "I like pop music," or "I'm into rock," or "I love classical music." That expression, "I'm into," means I like. So, "I'm into jazz" sounds natural and modern. For me, I'd say, I like all kinds of music, but I'm really into acoustic songs. Just a voice and a guitar. Simple and beautiful. All right, now your turn. What kind of music do you like? Fantastic! You're doing really well. Let's go on. Okay, number 9. Do you play any sports? Now, this question is a great one for small talk, especially among men or anyone who's active. You can also ask, "Are you into sports?" Or, "Do you like playing sports?" They all work fine. To answer, you can say, "Yes, I play football." Or, "Yes, I play basketball." Or, "No, not really. I just watch sports," which is actually what many people do. And if you want to add more, you can say, "I go to the gym 3 times a week," or "I like swimming when it's hot." For me, I used to play football, but now I just go for runs. It's easier and keeps me healthy. All right, do you play any sports? Excellent. Great answer. Let's go to the last one in this round. Question 10. What's your favorite food? Oh, this one's a classic. People love talking about food, It's one of the easiest topics to connect with others. You might also hear, "What food do you like the most?" Or, "Do you like trying new foods?" All of these sound friendly and conversational. When answering, you can say, "My favorite food is pizza," or "I love pasta." You can also make it more personal. "I love homemade food, anything my mom cooks." For me, I'd say my favorite food is curry. I love spicy food. The hotter, the better. All right, now your turn. What's your favorite food? Awesome! Great job again. That's 10 questions done. You're speaking English with confidence, and that's exactly how fluency starts. Let's keep going, shall we?
Question number 11. Do you like cooking? This is a fun one because people usually have strong feelings about it. They either love cooking or absolutely hate it. You can also hear people say, "Do you enjoy cooking?" or "Are you good at cooking?" They all lead to great conversation. To answer, you can say, "Yes, I do. I love cooking." Or, "Not really. I prefer eating." Or if you want to sound more natural, "I enjoy cooking when I have time." Or, "I only cook on weekends." For me, I'd say, "I actually like cooking. It's relaxing, and I like experimenting with new recipes. Sometimes they turn out great, sometimes not so much." Do you like cooking?
Excellent. Nicely said. Let's move on to the next one. Question 12. What's your favorite movie or TV show? This one is so useful. You can use it to start a chat with anyone, friends, classmates, coworkers, because almost everyone watches something these days. You might also hear, "What kind of movies do you like?" Or, "Do you watch Netflix?" Both are natural ways to start the same kind of talk. You can answer simply, "My favorite movie is Titanic," or "I really like action movies." If you want to sound a bit more advanced, you can say, "I'm a big fan of comedies," or "I love movies based on true stories." For me, I'd probably say, "My favorite movie is Inception. It blows my mind every time I watch it." And TV show? Probably Friends. It's classic, funny, and great for learning English too. All right, now you. What's your favorite movie or TV show? Great job. You're doing really well. Let's go on. Next one. Question 13. What time do you usually wake up? Now, this is one of those daily routine questions that's great for practice because it uses the adverb usually and it helps you talk about habits. You might also hear, "When do you get up?" Same meaning, but wake up means when you open your eyes, and get up means when you actually leave the bed. Sometimes there's a difference of 10 minutes or 40. You can answer, "I usually wake up at 7." Or, "I wake up early during the week, but I sleep in on weekends." For me, I'd say, "I usually wake up around 6:30 because I like having quiet mornings before the day gets busy." All right, now you. What time do you usually wake up? Nicely done. Let's keep going. Number 14. Do you prefer mornings or nights? This question is great for conversations about lifestyle and personality. Some people are early birds, others are night owls. You might also hear, "Are you a morning person or a night person?" Same thing, just a bit more informal. You can answer, "I prefer mornings. I feel more productive." Or, "I'm definitely a night person. I get creative at night." You can even add a reason to sound more fluent. "I love mornings because everything is quiet and calm." For me, I'd say, "I prefer mornings.
My brain works best after a strong cup of coffee. Okay, your turn. Do you prefer mornings or nights? Great job. You're doing amazing. Let's go to the last one in this round. Question 15. What's your favorite season of the year? Ah, that's such a lovely question. You'll often hear it in friendly conversations, especially when people are talking about the weather or planning holidays. You can also say, which season do you like the most? Same meaning, just a different wording. To answer, you can say, my favorite season is summer, or I love winter because I like cold weather. You can also make it more natural. I'm a big fan of spring. Everything feels fresh and full of life. For me, I'd say my favorite season is autumn. The colors, the weather, the cozy feeling, I love everything about it. Now, your turn. What's your favorite season of the year? Excellent. That's the first 15 questions done. Halfway there. You're doing a fantastic job practicing with me. Let's take a deep breath, relax, and get ready for the next round. It only gets more fun from here.
Question number 16. How do you usually spend your weekends? This is one of my favorite questions because it tells a lot about someone's lifestyle and personality. You can hear it at work on a Monday morning. So, how was your weekend? Or what did you do last weekend? It's the kind of question people use to start friendly conversations. The question, how do you usually spend your weekends, focuses on your routine, what you normally do. You could say, I usually stay home and rest, or I like going out with friends, or I spend time with my family. If you want to sound a bit more advanced, try, I usually catch up on sleep and do some housework, or I love spending time outdoors. For me, I'd say, I usually go for a walk in the morning, have brunch, and watch a movie at night. Nothing fancy, just relaxing. Okay, now it's your turn. How do you usually spend your weekends? Excellent. Great job. Let's move on. Question 17. Do you have any brothers or sisters? Ah, the family question. This one comes up a lot when people are getting to know each other. It's a very warm, friendly question, especially in casual conversations. You can also hear, do you have any siblings? That's the more formal or neutral version. Siblings means both brothers and sisters. You can answer, yes, I have one brother, or I have two sisters. Or, no, I'm an only child. You can also add more detail. I have an older brother and a younger sister. That's a great way to keep the conversation going. For me, I'd say, yes, I have one older sister. She's amazing and also a great cook, so I visit her often. All right, now it's your turn. Do you have any brothers or sisters? Nice. Well done. Let's go to the next one. Question 18. Do you have any pets? People love this one, especially animal lovers. It's one of those questions that instantly makes people smile. You might also hear, do you keep any pets? Or, do you have a dog or a cat? All natural variations. You can answer simply, yes, I have a dog. Or, I have two cats. If you don't, you can say, no, I don't have any pets, but I'd like to have one. Or, no, I don't, but I used to have a parrot.
For me, I'd say, yes, I have a cat. Her name's Luna. She's lazy, adorable, and basically rules the house. All right, now your turn. Do you have any pets? Great job! You're doing fantastic. Let's move on. Number 19. What do you like most about your city? That's a beautiful question because it lets you express opinions and describe things, perfect for practicing adjectives in English. You might also hear, what's the best thing about your city? Or, what do you enjoy most about where you live? Same meaning. You can answer, I love the people. They're friendly. Or, I like the weather. It's always sunny. If you want to be more descriptive, you can say, I love my city because it's full of energy and culture. Or, the food and the music are amazing. For me, I'd say, what I like most about my city is how diverse it is. You can meet people from all over the world. Now it's your turn. What do you like most about your city? Excellent. Nicely done. Let's go to the last one in this group. Question 20. What languages do you speak? Now, this one's great for learners like you because it gives you a chance to talk about your language skills. You'll often hear it in international settings, at work, at school, or when meeting travelers. You might also hear, how many languages do you speak? Or, do you speak any other languages? All very common. To answer, you can say, I speak English and Portuguese, or I speak a little bit of French. You can also use the phrase I'm learning. For example, I'm learning English and Spanish. For me, I'd say I speak English, a bit of Spanish, and I'm learning some Italian. Very slowly, but I'm trying. All right, now it's your turn. What languages do you speak? Great job. That's 20 questions done. Amazing progress. You're not just listening, you're speaking English. And that's exactly how real learning happens. Let's keep the conversation going. Ready for the next round?
All right, we're moving into the next group. Question number 21. Have you ever traveled abroad? This is a great question for conversations about experiences. People often ask this when they're getting to know you or when talking about travel, culture, or languages. You can also hear, have you ever been to another country? Or have you ever left your country? They all mean basically the same thing. To answer, you can say, yes, I have. I've been to South Africa. Or, no, I haven't, but I'd love to. If you want to sound a bit more natural, try, I've traveled to Portugal once. It was amazing. Or, not yet, but it's on my list. For me, I'd say, yes, I've traveled abroad a few times, and every trip teaches me something new about people and about myself. Now, it's your turn. Have you ever traveled abroad?
Excellent. Great answer. Let's keep going. Question 22. What's a country you'd like to visit? Now, this one usually comes right after the previous question. It's a nice way to keep the conversation going and learn about someone's interests. You can also say, if you could visit any country, where would you go? That's another fun way to ask the same thing. To answer, you can say, I'd like to visit Japan, or I'd love to go to Canada one day. You can even add why. I want to visit Italy because I love the food. Or, I'd like to go to France to see the Eiffel Tower. For me, I'd say, I'd love to visit Japan. The culture, the food, the balance between tradition and technology, it fascinates me. All right, now you. What's a country you'd like to visit? Perfect. Nicely done. Let's move to the next one. Question 23. What's something you're good at? Now, this is a beautiful question because it helps you talk about your strengths, and it's a great way to practice positive vocabulary in English. You might also hear, what are you good at? Or, what's one thing you're really good at? You can answer, I'm good at cooking. Or, I'm really good at drawing. Or, I'm good at making people laugh. If you want to sound more natural, add a little comment. I'm good at organizing things. It makes me feel calm. For me, I'd say, I'm good at teaching and explaining things simply. I love helping people understand. All right, now your turn. What's something you're good at? Great job. That's a strong answer. Well done. Let's keep it going. Question 24. What's something you want to improve about yourself? That's a deep one, right? It's a great question to talk about goals and personal growth. You might also hear, what would you like to get better at? It's a bit softer and more conversational. To answer, you can say, I want to improve my English, or I'd like to be more confident, or I want to get better at managing my time. These answers sound real and relatable. They show self-awareness, which people appreciate. For me, I'd say, I want to improve my patience. Sometimes I move too fast, and I forget to slow down. All right, now it's your turn. What's something you want to improve about yourself? Excellent. That's a thoughtful one. Really well done. Let's go to the last one for this round. Question 25. How do you usually get to work or school? Now, we're talking about daily life again. This question is super common in friendly conversations, especially when you're comparing routines. You might also hear, how do you go to work? Or, do you drive to school? They're all natural. You can answer, I go to work by bus. Or, I drive. Or, I walk. Or, if you want to make it sound more fluent, you can say, I usually take the bus to work. Or, I go by train, it's faster. You can even add a bit of detail. I ride my bike when the weather is nice. For me, I'd say, I usually walk to work. It's close, and I like starting my day with some fresh air. Now, your turn. How do you usually get to work or school? Fantastic! That's 25 questions done, and you're still here speaking English with confidence. You're doing great, really. Let's take a short breath and get ready for the final 5. You're almost at the finish line.
All right, my friend. We've come a long way together. You've practiced your English, answered personal questions, and shared a lot about yourself. Now we're in the final stretch, the last 5 questions. Ready? Let's go. Question 26. What's your favorite holiday? This is a fun one because it connects to culture and personal traditions. You can also say, what's your favorite celebration? Or, what holiday do you enjoy the most? To answer, you might say, my favorite holiday is Christmas. I love New Year's Eve because everyone's in a good mood. Or even, I enjoy Easter because my family gets together. You can add emotion to make it sound more real. Christmas is my favorite because it's cozy,
full of love, and everyone seems happier. For me, I'd say my favorite holiday is definitely Christmas. Good food, good music, and family. That's the perfect mix for me. Now your turn. What's your favorite holiday? Beautiful answer. Great job. Let's keep moving. Question 27. What do you do when you feel stressed? Oh, that's an important one. Everyone feels stressed sometimes, right? So this question helps you talk about your emotions and routines in English. You can say, I listen to music. I go for a walk. I take a nap. Or even, I like to stay alone and breathe. More natural examples are, when I'm stressed, I go outside and get some fresh air. Or, I listen to my favorite playlist. It always helps. For me, I'd say, when I feel stressed, I slow down and talk to myself, like, okay, Peter, relax, it's not the end of the world. Now, you. What do you do when you feel stressed? Excellent. That's a healthy answer. Nicely done. Question 28. Who is your best friend? This one always makes people smile. You might also hear, who's your closest friend? Or, who do you trust the most? To answer, my best friend is Anna. We've known each other since school. Or, my best friend is my brother. We talk about everything. You can add a short story. We met in college and became inseparable. For me, I'd say, my best friend is someone who always reminds me to stay positive, even when life gets tough. All right, now your turn. Who is your best friend? Perfect. That's such a warm answer. Let's go for the next one. Question 29. What's your favorite memory from childhood? Ugh, nostalgia time. This question helps you practice past tense naturally, so it's great for your fluency. You can answer, my favorite memory from childhood is playing outside with my friends. I remember going to the beach with my family. Or, my favorite memory is when I got my first bike. You can make it more vivid. I remember the smell of the rain, the sound of kids laughing. It was simple, but it was happiness. For me, I'd say my favorite childhood memory is going fishing with my grandfather. I didn't catch much, but I learned patience, and that's something I still carry today. Now your turn. What's your favorite childhood memory? That's beautiful. Really, memories like that stay with us forever. And now, the final question, number 30. What are your goals for the future? This is one of my favorite questions because it opens the door to dreams, hope, and motivation. You can answer simply, I want to finish my studies. I want to travel the world. I want to have my own business. Or add a bit more. My goal is to become fluent in English and build a better life for my family. For me, I'd say, my goal is to keep inspiring people to speak English confidently and to believe they can achieve anything they set their minds to. Now, your turn. What are your goals for the future? Amazing. That's a strong and powerful vision. I love it. And that's it. 30 questions, 30 moments of learning, and one big step forward in your English journey. If you made it this far, seriously, you should be proud of yourself. That's real progress. Remember, the key to fluency isn't perfection. It's practice, consistency, and confidence. So keep speaking with me, repeat these questions often, and you'll see how natural English will start to feel. If you enjoyed this session, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a friend who's also learning English. Let's keep growing together because your voice deserves to be heard in any language. See you in the next one, my friend, and keep speaking English every day.